Good evening. Welcome to today's UPSC Current Affairs of 22nd April 2021. So let's move on to the first topic of the day. So the first topic of the day, State of Global Climate 2020. So actually, State of Global Climate 2020 is a report which is being released by the World Meteorological Organization, WMO. So actually, WMO is an intergovernmental organization with is having a members around the globe of about 192 members, states and territory, and also India is also a part, or India is also a member of World Meteorological Organization. So the World Meteorological Organization is originated from the International Meteorological Organization. So actually this was established, it is one of the oldest establishment, or it is one of the oldest organization which was established after the 1873 Vienna International Meteorological Congress. Okay, so established by the ratification of WMO Convention on 23rd March 1950, WMO become World Meteorological Organization become were specialized agency of the United Nations for meteorology, weather and climate, operational hydrology and related and geophysical science. So where the headquarters is located in Geneva, Switzerland. So what is in this report actually? So actually we know that India is one of the finest emitter of carbon dioxide, and also we know that USA and China are the world's top most greenhouse emitter around the world. So India is also one of the biggest country, or one of the major country which are releasing greenhouse gas effect, with nearly close to China and USA. Okay, so actually the report was released ahead of the leaders summit. So actually there was a leaders summit of the different nation regarding the global climate change. So actually the leaders summit was hosted by United States of America. So what was there in this summit? So what was the essence of the summit? So extreme weather condition combined with COVID-19 was a double blow for millions of people in 2020. However, the pandemic-related economic slowdown failed to put a brake on climate change drivers and accelerating impact. So actually, we know that at present India is one of the finest greenhouse gas emitter, and also from the past 1.5 years. So exactly, we have to say from 2020 March. We are facing a huge severe pandemic situation in India, and also at present India is going under the second phase of COVID-19 disease. So actually, so India, and in the global level, yesterday was the highest number of case count in the country. Actually previously it was USA, which was approximately having 3 lakh 1000 cases in a single day. But today India has overtaken, or India has crossed that number. So yesterday India was having around 3 lakh 15,000 cases in India, and also it will be moving on raising the alarmingly rate. Actually we have to be very precautious. So we know that due to the pandemic situation, from the first early stages of March 2020, were facing a full lockdown situation at in those times. So it was a time where there was no that much pollution. Actually, when the times goes on move on further and further, so at present there are no such restrictions which were held on that time, which was on March, April, May, June, July in 2020. So today at, or from November, or from the 2021st January, we are not having that strict lockdown measures. So everyone is moving with their vehicles, so everyone is moving to their for the job. So everyone is communicating with everyone is migrating. So generally the population and the pollution both are interlinked. So alarmingly the pollution rate is been getting higher and higher. Actually, when there was COVID in the initial state, the pollution was very, very less, because we were having a huge lockdown. The particular number of vehicles were not supposed to go out in the particular time. So we were also full lockdown from a whole week. Only the essential needs was to be satisfied, or essential need was to be taken, or essential need was to be gone for medical purpose, etc. Okay, so let's come back to the state of global. So climate change, or the global climate summit. So we know that 2020 was one of the major or the warmest year which was recorded in a year. So what is our average climate in the industrial pre-industrial level? So it is generally 1.2 degrees Celsius. So it is the our average industrial level. So apart from 2020, we can also see that 2019 and 2016 were the extreme warmest condition we were facing. Okay, so actually if the climate change is been going on, there will be a rise in the sea level, so there will be heat waves, there will be when the sea level rises there will be cyclone. So these are some of the major impact which economy or which can economy or environment can face. Okay, so India is one of the major impactness, or India is one of the major country where we will be facing huge amount of heat waves. Okay, so sea level, if sea level rises, obviously the island region will be get submerged into the water, and if the greenhouse gas and the temperature starts increasing day by day, Antarctic and Arctic level, so the north and south pole, so it is completely surrounded with ice. So if it start melting, the water level of the sea will be raising, and the impact can affect the coastal line, the island nation, can also affect the environment, it can also affect the economy, etc. Okay, so India has a devastated wettest monsoons in 1994, and also we were not having that surplus amount of rain at present today. So, and also cyclone Amphan, you might be knowing that it causes a devastated problem in the West Bengal region, and also it was very dangerous cyclone which took the life of many people and also which destroyed many infrastructure. Okay, so actually US agency are saying that it could have caused approximately around 14 billion losses. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic of the day: World Press Freedom Index 2021. So it is very sad to say that India has ranked 142nd, 142 out of 180 countries. So what is this press freedom index? So actually from the report we can say that it is related to the press. So we know that media or the press, which we can say that it is the third pillar of democracy. Yeah, right. So who is publishing World Press Freedom Index 2021? So it has been published by Reporters Without Border. So we can also say it by other name called Sans Frontiers or Reporters Sans Frontiers, RSF, or Report Without Borders. So where it is been based? So it is based in Paris. Okay, so RSF is an independent, so it is an NGO. Okay, so with the consultative status of UN, UNESCO, and Council of Europe, and the International Organization of Francophonie. So what does this index mention about? The index ranks country and region according to the level of freedom available to the journalists. So simple words, we can say that how a journalist is being treated, so how freedom is a journalist is being treated, is the main indicator of the World Press Freedom Index 2021. So however, it is not an indicator of the quality of journalism. So we are not talking about journalism, we are talking about the journalist. Okay, so the other parameters include pluralism, media independence, media environment, self censorship, legislative framework, transparency, and the quality of infrastructure that supports the production of news. And okay, so which country? Obviously we can say that the Scandinavian countries, so those are Finland, Sweden, Greenland. So these are some of the Scandinavian countries. Obviously Norway will be the top scorer of this report, which is being followed by Finland, Denmark. So Denmark is also a Scandinavian. So next, so Eritrea is at the bottom. Meanwhile, China is ranked 177 and is only above North Korea at 179 and Turkmenistan at 178. So India is among the country classified as bad for journalism and is being termed as one of the most dangerous country for journalists trying to do their job properly. So obviously we have seen in many instances that journalists are getting treated badly. It is very sad to say that as a third pillar of democracy, we are only having a rank of 142 out of the 180 countries. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. So freedom of press. So what is freedom of press in India or in our Indian constitution, where the freedom of press has been described, or the it has been identified, or what we can say the objectives. Okay, so obviously we know that it is mentioned in article 19 of our Indian constitution. Yeah. Okay, so the supreme law or the land guarantees the freedom of speech expression under article 19, which deal with the protection of certain rights regarding the freedom of speech, etc. So freedom of speech, or sorry, freedom of press is not expressly protected by Indian legal system, but it is implied protected under article 19 subclause 1 and subclause A of the constitution, which state that all citizens have the right to freedom of speech and expression. In 1950, Supreme Court in the case of Ramesh Thapar and State of Madras observed that freedom of press lay at the foundation of all democratic organization. However, freedom of press is also not absolute. So we must keep it in mind that it is not absolute. It faces certain restriction under Article 19, subclause 2. So which means matter related to interest of sovereignty, integrity of India, security of the state, friendly relation with the neighboring country or the foreign country or the foreign states, public order, decency or morality, or in the relation to the contempt of court, defamation and incitement to an offense. So these are some the places, or these are some instances where under Article 19 subclause 2 we are facing some of the restriction in that freedom of. So what is Kulbhushan Jadhav case? So who is Kulbhushan? Actually, Kulbhushan Jadhav was sentenced to death by Pakistan military court on charge of espionage and terrorism in April 2017. Okay, so India approached the ICJ against Pakistan for the denial of consular access. So consular access generally refers to the Vienna Convention to Jadhav and challenging the death sentence. So ICJ ruled in July 2019 that Pakistan must undertake an effective review and reconsideration of the conviction and the sentence of Jadhav, and also grant consular access to it without the further delay. It had asked Pakistan to provide a proper forum for appeal against the sentence given to Jadhav by the military court. So we are just focusing about the what is Vienna Convention and what is ICJ, Indian International Court of Justice. Okay, so what is Vienna Convention? The Vienna Convention on Consular Relation is an international treaty that defines consular relation between the independent states. A consul who is not a diplomat is a representative of a foreign state in the host country who work for the interest of the countrymen. So Article 36 of the Vienna Convention states that the foreign national who are arrested or detained in the host country must be given notice without a delay of their right to have their embassy or consulate notified of that arrest. So what is generally ICJ? So what is International Court of Justice? So it has been located in Hague, Netherlands. We can say that it is a principal organization of United Nations. It was established in 1945 by the United Nations Charter and began in working in 1946. So an Indian judge, Dalwar Bandari, has been a member of ICJ since April 2012 or 2012. Okay, so these are some of it is one of the biggest court we can say at the international level. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. Startup India seed fund scheme. So generally startup refers to entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship is a place where we are or we will be able to grow our country in such a manner that we will be transferring from service sector to the manufacturing sector or the secondary sector. Okay, so it is a place where we will be providing good enough number of opportunity as an employment to the other people if we build or if we develop entrepreneurship. Okay, so what is this scheme? So to provide financial assistance to the startup for the proof of concept, prototype development, product trial, market entry and commercialization. So who had launched this scheme? So actually this scheme is launched by DPIIT, so Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, with an outlay of 9 approximately. We have to not focus on numbers, so it has been released by DPIIT, Department of Promotion of Industry and International Trade and internal trade, sorry. So a startup recognized by DPIIT incorporate not more than 2 years at the time of application. Okay, startup should not have received more than 10 lakh of the monetary support under any other central or state government scheme. So what are the other features? So we can say that an expert advisory committee constituted by the DPIIT will be responsible for the overall execution and monitoring of the scheme. So grant of up to 5 crore will be provided to the eligible incubators by the committee. The selected incubators will provide grant of up to 12, 20 lakhs for the validation of proof of concept or prototype development of or the product trial of the startup. So generally, what is this scheme about? So this scheme is generally about the financial assistance for the entrepreneurship, but there are some eligibility where they have put some restriction of about 20 lakhs to the 50 lakhs. So from 0 to 20 lakhs. So there are some restriction where if a person is eligible or if a person is eligible in that scheme, or generally if he approaches, they will be provided with the scheme. So generally it has been released by DPIIT, and also it is the main aim is to provide employment opportunity or the entrepreneurship or the startup program for the Indian individuals. So I hope you all enjoyed the today's current affairs video. Thank you and bye.